welcome to the third lecture of electromagnetic field theory, which subject code is KEE301. So in the last class we have seen vector analysis. In vector analysis also we have seen the various kind of vector operation, that is a addition, subtraction and multiplication. Further we have seen that multiplication can happen in two ways, that is a vector can be multiplied either by scalar quantity or by vector. Scalar quantity further can be either negative or positive. The multiplication of a negative scalar will scale the original vector, but it will change the direction of original vector. Multiplication of a positive scalar will scale the original vector quantity with same direction. Further, the multiplication of a vector with a vector will further categorized into three categories, that is dot product, cross product and vector triple product or higher degree product. Dot product is also known as scalar product, cross product is also known as vector product, which we will see later one by one. For now, let's see the addition, subtraction and multiplication. So here is the vector addition and subtraction. There are two vectors are given, that is a vector A and vector B. To add two vector, we need to translate one of the vectors so that the terminal point of one vector coincide with the starting point of the second vector, and the sum of is the vector of whole starting point to the starting point of first vector to the terminal point of the second vector. As for example, here we can see that there are two vectors, vector A and vector B. If we need to sum, what to do? We simply put the vector A, this is the vector B, means we can add or subtract in two ways, that is either by parallelogram rule or by head to tail rule. In head to toe rule, what to do, that if there is a one vector A is starting from here and ending from here, if we want to add B, then what to do, we have to keep the starting point of B on the terminating point of A like this, and total sum of A and B will be the line joining starting point of A and ending point of B like this. So this will be as A plus B. For subtraction also same rule applies, only we need to do what? Subtraction can be performed just as the addition after changing the direction of second vector. If suppose we want to perform A minus B, then what to do? We need to change the direction of B. Right now the direction of B is in this way, but if we want to perform subtraction, we need to change the direction of B in this side, and after that we need to do the same operation like this. We have changed the direction of B. Now the starting point of A and ending point of B, this is B, will give A minus B, means this is the A minus B vector. However, this and this is the A plus B. Corresponding coefficient will add up and it will give the value of addition and added and subtracted vector C. Further, there are two kind of vectors, that is position vectors and vector length. Now in this we will study two kind, that is a position and distance vector. See, if some point is given, as for example here one point is given P1 and other point is given P2, the distance from origin to P1 will be termed as position vector. Similarly, distance from origin to P2 will be termed as position vector. Means what is the position of P1 and P2 with respect to origin, but distance between these 2 points, that is a P1 and P2, will termed as the distance vector. Means this vector gives the idea of distance between these 2 points. So these are the two kind of vector, that is a position vector and distance vector. As for example, this R1 indicates the position vector of P1, however R2 indicates the position vector of P2. This distance R12 indicates the distance vector from point P1 to P2. So this is the difference between position vector and distance vector. Next we will see multiplication of a vector by a scalar. Already I have told that a vector, multiplication of a vector can be done either by multiplying it by scalar or by a vector. So scalar, as the name suggests, multiplication of any vector with some scalar, simply scale the vector. As for example, here this scalar k is multiplied by with a vector a, then the b is another vector with same direction. If the value of k will be positive, the direction of b will be same as of a. Suppose here this is the unit vector, this is the k scalar by which we have multiplied the vector a. This is the magnitude of a. Once we multiplied scalar k with vector a, it simply scaled the original vector. Next we will see the multiplication of a vector by a vector. So this is of 3 types, but 2 types are more important, that is a scalar product and vector product. Scalar product is also known as dot product and vector product is also known as cross product. We can express, suppose if there is a 2 vector, then suppose there is a 2 vector a and b, then scalar product or dot product will be represented as this, and a dot b will be equal to the magnitude of a multiplied by magnitude of b multiplied by the cosine angle of cosine of angle between vector a and b, suppose cos theta. Similarly, vector product can be expressed as if there is 2 vector a and b, then vector product or cross product will be represented like this, and this will be equal to the magnitude of a multiplied by magnitude of b and sine of angle between a and b. sine theta. Further we will see, here is the scalar or dot product. We already seen that the dot product, mathematical expression of dot product is this, where a and b are the magnitude of a and b respectively. Theta, cos theta is the cosine of the angle between a and b. One more thing is that we need to take always the smaller angle. Further, dot product of two vector a and b can be solved using this, where x dot x, as we have seen that the a dot b is equal to ab cos theta, and cos 0 is equal to 1 and cos 90 degree is equal to 0. Keeping this in mind, we can find this value, because we know that in xy z axis all the three unit vectors are orthogonal to each other. So angle between x and x is 0, so cos 0 is 1, that's why it comes 1. Similar things happen with y and z also. However, x multiplied by x dot y or x dot z or y dot z or x will be equal to 0. Why? Because the angle between these two are 90 degree and cos 90 degree is equal to 0. If there are two vectors, then dot product will appear as this. Corresponding component, as for example, if we will write a as ax ay az, where this is the coefficient which shows the magnitude of vector and this is the unit vector which shows the direction of a vector. Suppose similarly second vector is b x ax plus by ay plus bz az. Then if we will do a dot b, then what will happen? Corresponding coefficient means the coefficient of ax will multiply, means ax will multiply with bx only, because if ax will get multiplied by bx, then only the cos theta value will be 1. For all other cases theta will be 90 degree and the product will be 0. So a dot b will be ax bx plus ay by plus az bz. Same thing is written here. Now there are some property which followed by dot product or scalar product, that is a commutative properties. It means that a dot b can be written as b dot a. Similarly, a dot b plus c can be written as a dot b plus a dot c, which is known as distributive property of dot product or scalar product. Now this is the vector or cross product. We already have seen that cross product, the result of cross product or vector product is vector. So in final result also we need to put some unit vector, so that's why n occurred here. However, the scalar or dot product gives scalar quantity only. So if there will be two vectors a and b, then the cross product between them will be appear like this. Among the three vectors x y z, the cross product results are shown here, like x, y, z, three things are there. Then x cross y will be equal to z, y cross z will be equal to x. It moves like this. However, if we will proceed in clockwise direction, then what will happen? Z, if we will, x cross y will be equal to z. However, y cross x will be equal to minus z. Similarly, y cross z will be equal to x. However, z cross y will be equal to minus x. So this is how we do the cross product or vector product of two vectors. Now let's see the scalar triple product. In triple product, the product is triple but scalar. So here we need to do the dot product of, this is the cross product. So this, the result of B cross C, suppose there are three vectors A, B and C, then scalar triple product is the product, cross product of B and C, means the cross product of B and C will be something this, because the result of cross product are usually is always perpendicular to both the vectors. As we are going to do cross product of B and C, so the result of B cross C is A cos theta, is something this. This is the result of B cross C. Now further we need to do the dot product of this A and B cross C, which is known as scalar triple product. Scalar triple product also gives the yes, this is the scalar product, and similarly this is the vector product in which we are going to do, suppose here is the three vectors A, B and C. Then first of all we will find the cross product of B and C. The cross product of B and C will be perpendicular to both, means it will be something like this. Again further we need to do a cross product of these two. So here let D is the cross product of B and C, which is perpendicular to the plane PQRS. Suppose this is the PQRS. In this plane we are having two vectors, that is a B and C. Then the cross product of B and C will be perpendicular to this plane, D. Now let D and A be in the plane EFG. Now assume another plane, that is EFG, that is EFGH, which is perpendicular to PQR, previous plane which we, on which vector B and C was lies. Then the cross product of this A vector and D vector will be the scalar, will be the vector triple product. The cross product of this D and B will again perpendicular to both this D and B, which will be outside of the board. So this will be again in the same plane on which B and C lies. So we have studied various kind of coordinates, various kind of multiplication of vector in this session. Let's have some examples. Suppose there are two vectors. Vector A is given as 3x plus 4ay plus 5az, and vector B is given as 4ay and 5az. Then A plus B will be equal to, see, only the corresponding quantity will add up, means ay will add up with ay only, az will add with az only. So the answer of A plus B will be 3ax plus 8ay plus 10az. Now in vector quantity we need to know two very important things, that is a magnitude and unit vector. Any vector's magnitude can be determined by, as for example this is the A, so magnitude of A can be determined by in two ways. First way is we need to square the coefficient of all the individual coefficient, like A will be 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square. So final result will be root under 9 plus 40 16 plus 25, means something root under 50, 5 root 2. Another way is just do the A dot A, and A dot A will be equal to A square. So you can find the value of A by A square in this way also. So to find the value of magnitude of any vector, we can, so to find the value of any vector, value of magnitude of any vector, we can proceed in two ways. Either we can go for the dot product of that quantity and later take the square root, or we can go for this approach also. So we have seen various operations of vector. Let's review our learning first. So till now we have seen about the vector analysis. In vector there are other topic, vector calculus also, as we know that vector calculus you must have read it in 12th also. Calculus is having basically two parts, that is vector calculus. Calculus are usually having two things, that is differentiation and integration. As we were studying in 12th, differentiation and integration, same thing repeats here also. Only difference is that here we are going for the differentiation of a vector and integration of a vector. So to differentiate any vector, we need to introduce a new kind of operator which is known as vector differential operator. Vector differential operator. This is the vector operator. This is also known as del operator, nabla operator and gradient operator. With the help of this vector differential operator, we can obtain 4 other kind of operator which is very useful to tell about the properties of field. Those are gradient, divergence, curl, and then Laplacian. Gradient is nothing but the simple multi-product of del, that is a vector differential operator, with any scalar, suppose b. This vector differential operator itself is not a vector, but when it applies on any kind of scalar, it transforms that scalar into vector quantity. So this gradient del v is vector quantity. Further, divergence is nothing but the dot product of del operator with any vector. Here vector is the vector and the result of this divergence, that is a del dot v, is a scalar quantity. Means gradient maps a scalar into vector, however divergence maps a vector into scalar. Similarly, curl is nothing but the cross product of del operator with any vector a. Curl maps a vector into a vector, because this a is already vector and final result, that is a del cross a, will be also a vector. So curl maps a vector into a vector. Finally, we came to the Laplacian. Laplacian is nothing but the divergence of gradient. We can write it as del dot del p. Laplacian is the divergence of a gradient. Gradient is a vector quantity, and after taking the divergence of a vector quantity, it will transform into the scalar quantity. So Laplacian maps a scalar quantity into a scalar quantity and a vector quantity into a vector quantity. So with the help of this vector differential operator, we derived 4 other kind of differential vector, which is gradient, divergence, curl and Laplacian, which comes under the vector calculus, especially in the vector differential operator. Further, similarly, we will go for the integration part also, in which we will study 3 kinds of integration, that is a line integration, surface integration and volume integration. Volume integration. So in line integration, we integrate a vector quantity once. In surface integral, we integrate 2 times, because in surface we are using length into breadth. 2 distance are going to be multiplied, so we need to integrate 2 times for each one of them, that is for length as well as for the breadth. Similarly, for volume integration, we need to integrate 3 times because volume constitutes of length into breadth into height. So a corresponding integration should be there. That's why we are using 3 integration in volume integration. This was all about the vector calculus. We have seen various types of vector calculus, various kinds of operator also. Further, in the next class we will solve some problem based on this. Okay, so in this we have studied the vector calculus, in which we have seen various kind of operators, that is a gradient operator, divergence operator, curl operator and Laplacian operator. Hope Laplacian operator. Hope so further we will study in the next class. In the next class we will see some problem based on all these operators, and we will solve some other problem of vector also. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Hope all of you will be safe in this pandemic situation. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.